morning, artist friends. Right now I'm really grateful for what I feel right now. Some nice warm winds. I still see greens, the trees. Even though today it's going to rain. It's August 22nd, 2022. It's Monday. I hear a dog far beyond barking, but I still hear a great magical silence, and everything's so calm. That's what I love about getting up in the morning, when you can catch these serene moments. I wanted to talk about things that have to include artist process, or more like when you begin coming back to doing something in art, a skill. You'll see right now, as I'll pop up on the video while I'm talking, you can see what I was doing on my sketchbook. I was drawing very simple, very rough sketch. Very rough sketch. You have to excuse my little friendly dog down here. He's barking because maybe he wants to call his other dog friend that's across the gate. So going back, putting the pencil to sketchbook. It's a very rough draft. The idea is for me to warm up my hand and my brain, and that's the whole point of it, is to warm it up. It's the only way to really way to understand, why I'm doing it. And once I put that down, there's just this magic that happens when you make lines happen on sketchbooks. And I haven't been sketching every day like I normally do, so of course I get really rusty really fast. It's the old saying, if you don't practice enough, it's not like riding a bike sometimes. Sometimes you have to go and retrain your brain and your arm muscles and your memory. And in this sketch, I am just drawing circles and quick anatomy points that I think that I can remember, and I'm also freestyling it. I put it in my style. I want to emphasize that everyone has a different learning curve, and everyone's different. There's no way that I want to copy any other style of someone else, because then that's not authentic. It's not original. There might be cartoony aspects to it, or there might be some really draftsman aspects to it, but it's never going to be, I don't want to be exactly looking like someone else. Handwriting is very unique, so drawing should be unique, and ideas are very unique when you draw. So don't be too rough on yourself when you're drawing. It shouldn't be. You should definitely not be rough on yourself while you're drawing, and I want you to think about, I think about what I want to think about is and if you ever create something, even if you're not drawing but you're creating something, don't think about what others think is perfect or not perfect. Don't start that. It's a bad way to start a project, I think. I always find out the best way is to go through all the things that you can put on yourself, that you can display, and then start adjusting things, change things, make it your worth. Recently I just saw Trove Arts again. They posted a video and I love it. I just wanted to mention it. Go check it out. It's about 2 minutes, and it's under 3 minutes, and it's a beautiful process for me to watch. I don't want to give too much away, but it's a typewriter being transformed into a work of art. So it's amazing to watch a process like that, but under 3 minutes, of course. I don't know how long it took them, but it's an inspirational watch for artists to watch and see how things can be changed and moved and manipulated, and there is no judgment. It's just art. You create it. You're always going to get voices, or I'm going to get voices in my head that I'm not good enough to make a human face, not good enough to make a human eye, or good enough for composition, or good enough for color. This is simply not true. It's not. It's not about being good enough about anything. It's about creating. Art is subjective. It's very subjective. And there's some really talented people who are very talented with the tools they have in their hands. And it took them some practice, though. It didn't take them one day to put it in their hand and they figured it out. It takes a little longer than that sometimes, just to figure the quirks of things and how to get better at things. So my message to all artists is, you have tools. You do. But repetition is important, I think. I find that the hardest thing for me. I say that to myself a lot. In my upcoming sketchbook, you're going to see I keep drawing a lot of sketches of the same thing. Mostly the same thing, anatomy of humans and just weird poses, and trying to figure out anatomy and see where I keep repeating myself and where I can change, and try to figure it out, you know, how to make it more interesting for me. How can I challenge myself as an artist? And there are a lot of people going through things right now, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially. And these challenges actually bring out another creative side. They bring motivation. And I think that I give kudos to all you artists out there, or people who are creative, not just artists, but people who are creative in all aspects of life. Whether it be video making, singing, baking, dancing, poetry, great with your hands, creating metals, or making sounds, or sculptures, or anything you create. There's always a challenge. Always. There's always going to be a challenge. But there's also the fun of making things, and failure is welcome. Let's just say they say failure, I don't want to say failure in a negative context, but I'm going to be honest with you. My biggest success, I think I always hear this saying, I think you guys might hear it too around the world. The way to reach success is have many, many failures. Fail so many times that eventually you will succeed. Maybe. I've failed a lot of things, and I'm really happy that I struggled with things, and to figure it out. Eventually you grow and you get to appreciate all the failure you've done, and then you go back and look at that failure and say, it wasn't such a failure, it was just a slight change of perception, that's all. It was perspective, mostly a slight change of perspective. Just a slight perspective changes everything you do, and that's when the things start shining and you start scratching the surface. And that's what it's about, finding yourself. And sharing that experience with others is powerful. That's what I love. That's what I really love. So I'm hoping you're enjoying this, watching this video as I talk. This is not this is a walking talk, but with me drawing, of course. So you'll see more drawing in the video and just showing different angles or whatever, but that I'm happy with this. I'm happy with just a quick rough sketch. This is not a finished product by all means. It's not. It's just writing an idea down, and sometimes ideas can take hours. Even rough sketches, people say sketches shouldn't take, I hear it sometimes. You control your world. You decide what sketches are. You decide what finished products are. You decide what art is, and you decide what you want to give out and what you want to hold in. Don't let no one don't allow energy or other people's voices in your head, unless it is something that's going to give you meaningful purpose. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Remember to like somebody. Remember, try to love. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.